Principles of Stoicism by Seneca. Do not cling to anything external. He says that everything external, everything material, all that is granted by luck. And just as you grant it, you can remove it. Yes, effort also achieves things, but everything is subject to external circumstances that do not depend on you. Nothing is certain in this world. Tomorrow's civilization may collapse. All your loved ones may die. You may be poor and miserable. You may lose everything. You can lose your home, your job, your family, anything. But the wise man loses nothing, because he knows that the only thing that is truly his is his virtue, and he never loses it. Knowing that only virtue depends entirely on oneself. The Stoic message is do your best with what you get. Crying and complaining is not going to bring you any benefit. Instead, you have to maintain virtue and endure the blows. Furthermore, he who depends on external things is a slave. Of course, having money, a house, a car, all of that is valuable, but it doesn't have to be necessary. You have to have that as accessories, not as something without which you cannot live. Carefully choose the company. Phrase, tell me who you are with and I will tell you who you are. You don't want to be weak and depressed. You want to be happy and strong. So, surround yourself with happy and strong people. Seneca in On Anger. The customs of those who live with us are taken. The spirit infects its ills to the nearby parts. The drunkard dragged his diners to the love of wine. Frequenting degenerates even-ended. The strength of a man is hard as flint. Greed transferred his virus to those closest. Not only does he improve by example the one who lives with peaceful men, but he does not find causes for anger or practice his defect. Whoever wants to be a loser gets together with losers. Whoever wants to be a winner gets together with winners. Simple. On serenity. I am not going to advise you not to follow or to join anyone but the wise. Well, when will you find this one whom we have been looking for centuries ago? Consider the best at least bad. However, we must especially avoid the gloomy people who complain about everything, to whom every cause serves to complain. Although his loyalty and good disposition is firm. This is the law of power. One of the most important laws of power. Epicurus is not the same as Epicureans. Epicurus, father of hedonism, said that happiness was pleasure. Seneca in On Happiness. Epicurus gave standards worthy of all respect. The laws that we dictate to virtue, he dictates them to pleasure. It clarifies, of course, that virtue is not the same as pleasure, and that virtue is better, and that it is to be pursued. And he says of the followers of Epicurus, the one who indulges in pleasures, always belching and drunk, as he knows he lives in the midst of pleasure, believes that he also does so in the midst of virtue. Later, he gives the title of wisdom to his vices. They do not indulge in the excesses promoted by Epicurus, but, given over to vice, they hide their excesses within philosophy, and they go there where they can hear that pleasure is praised. And they do not appreciate how sober and austere is the pleasure of Epicurus, but they rush to the name in search of a patronage and a cover for their passions. What if Epicurus is the perfect excuse to disguise behaving like an animal as a philosophy? But the truth is that Epicurus gave standards worthy of all respect. Straight and severe. It is easy to take refuge in philosophy. But Epicurus' pleasure is not the same as that spoken by drunks and drug addicts. The real pleasure is another. And it is not for everyone, nor is it easy to achieve. Living according to nature, the Stoic goal of life. What distinguishes humans from all other species is our capacity for rationality. We should not behave like sheep or beasts, because doing so denies our humanity, the most precious and natural thing we have. Living according to nature is about behaving rationally like a human rather than randomly and out of passion, like a beast. In other words, we should always apply our natural reason ability to all of our actions. If we apply reason, we live according to nature, because we act as humans should.